Welcome back guys to a brand new episode of the Williams Return to Glory. Today we are here for episode 11 and the halfway stage of season 1 for the Austrian Grand Prix. Now as always guys, I'm going to leave a link to the previous episode up in the top right hand corner of the screen, so go check that out for the French Grand Prix. But today we're at Austria, and like I said, it marks the halfway stage of the season. The next race at Silverstone is going to be a tough one because it's my home race, the team's home race, but it's going to be the toughest AI track of the entire year, so we need to make sure we benefit and maximize this race here today. So hopefully you guys are going to enjoy the episode as always. If you do, leave a like and subscribe for more content like this guys, it really helps me out. We are well on the way to 60,000 subs and hopefully we'll get there very soon. But guys, enjoy the video and hopefully it's a decent one. Now, first and foremost, we look at the weather forecast, and as you can see, we don't have any rain forecast. We then look at the R&D chart, and as you can see, we do have one major upgrade on the car this weekend. I believe it's for the chassis, so we are slightly improved, but you can see out front Mercedes, the gap is bigger than ever in terms of the difference they have to everybody else. But we do close up a little bit to the midfield, which is good news for us, and also we do have more upgrades on the way in the form of a major engine and a major chassis upgrade. So if those two upgrades arrive, we should in theory overtake Alfa Romeo. So fingers crossed those upgrades arrive and we can make some more progress. But we now move into practice here at the Red Bull Ring, the Austrian Grand Prix, and of course a very unique track because there's only 10 corners, therefore every single one of them has to be absolutely perfect, and that's going to be the big challenge of qualifying. But I've got to say, based off of practice, we have some serious pace around here. The fact we have a Mercedes power unit is a big plus, and we seem to be right on the pace around here, which is really impressive actually. We score almost 800 R&D points after practice, and a pretty solid session from both myself and George, and some very marginal gains on the driver acclaim. But we now move into qualifying, more specifically into Q1 here, and we're going to try and see if we can have a decent session. I feel like Q3 could be possible. It depends how much the AI kind of step up their pace when it matters. But on paper, in principle, we should be in the mix. So this is Q1 currently. I'm on my first time lap of the session, and to my surprise, actually, it was a very good banker, which is something I don't usually do. But this was actually a very good opening lap, making our way through the final couple of corners. Now, just trying to make sure we have a very strong lap here, running up to the line, and we go P8 behind Charles Leclerc and Lance Stroll, and ahead of Norris and Gasly. And to my surprise, that lap would end up being enough to get through Q1 and into Q2 comfortably. Actually, we got through by 0.3 of a second. Russell unfortunately knocked out in P19. Worth noting, both Renaults getting eliminated in Q1 as well. Pretty big surprise there as we now move into Q2. And again, based off of Q1, there's no reason why we couldn't get into Q3. The pace looks pretty strong, so you can see how I'm currently at the end of my first lap in Q2. And of course I want to try and make sure I set a decent banker, which isn't too bad to be fair. 1 minute 3.2 is a pretty strong lap. We go P6 behind Stroll and Lando Norris, ahead of Gasly and Sainz. So a good first lap, but I know I can do better, and we're going to run on board for a full lap of the circuit here for Q2. Currently 8th place. We're going to see if we can get to Q3 with this lap. So here we go, at the final corner, opening the DRS, making our way down towards turn 1, bring the car over to the left, brake just after the 100 meters and throw the car in. Try and really make sure you get the traction and the exit, which I do, and I found half a tenth in that exit of turn 1 alone. Flat out through 2, up towards 3, we're going to brake at about 75 meters, down to second gear, short shifting to third, and then fourth on the exit. And so far we're looking pretty decent. We're nearly 2 tenths up, heading down towards turn 4, bring the car to the left, 100 meter board, brake once again just after it, down to third gear, try and hit the inside curb for a bit of rotation, and then try and get the power down, running through 5 and 6. Very tricky section, this one. The setup is pretty low downforce, so you need the car to stick through these corners where there's a lot of understeer, making sure you keep the nose nice and tucked through here, and then bring the car over to the right as we get ready for the final 2 corners. Currently in 8th place, so this lap is looking pretty tasty here. Penultimate corner, absolutely spot on, and the final corner, 5th gear, clip the inside curb, don't run too wide on the exit, open the DRS, and we improve by 2 tenths and move up to P7, less than a tenth off Bottas, who's currently in P5. So a very good lap, and that would actually end up being enough for us to get into Q3 with a 1 minute 3.0. So happy days, a very, very good performance in qualifying here today. The car is working really well. And for the second time this season, after Monaco, we are in a Q3, which is awesome. So really, really happy. The car balance has been fantastic and I can't wait. So we jump into Q3. Again, I've got 2 fresh sets of soft tyres. This was my first time lap, of course. We set a 1 minute 3.0 in Q2, so that's the benchmark we're aiming for here, and we hit a 0.1 in our first lap in Q3, so slightly slower. We do go P7, but there's more time in it. So here we go, my final lap in qualifying. Let's see what it's like. We're currently P7. We're about to find out if I can go any quicker than 1 minute 3.1. And there we go, across the line, job done for qualifying. And unfortunately, the final lap wasn't perfect. I feel like I made a few mistakes. Definitely didn't optimize it, fully. I think turn 1 was a bit scruffy, lost a bit of time there. But generally speaking, it was my fastest lap of the weekend into the 1 minute 2s, which is pretty decent. But unfortunately, it was only good enough for P9, which is a bit of a shame. I think definitely I could have got P8, considering just how far behind we are from Lando Norris. It's not much. Definitely think, had we just done a pretty decent turn 1, we could have easily got a P8, possibly even P7. But either way, that is going to be for qualifying. Q3, I'll take that. And we're going to have to start the race on the soft tyres, but we'll see how it goes. Either way, that is it for Q3 here at Austria. We're now going to move into the race, and we're going to see if we can once again try and score some decent points in this Williams.
Good afternoon and welcome to Spielberg, and to a circuit that in one form or another has held every Austrian Grand Prix in the championship, except the very first back in 1964. It was at this race that John Watson lost a bet and his beard when he took Team Penske's only F1 victory in 1976. If anything, the stakes are even higher today, with 25 points available for victory and a crucial advantage in the championship fight. The Spielberg circuit then is situated 700 metres above sea level, with just 10 corners making up one of the shortest laps of the season. One time around here is a distance of 2.6 miles, with the best overtaking chances into turn 1 or the tight uphill turn 3. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Valtteri Bottas lines up on pole position, and Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Perez, Vettel, Max Verstappen, and Stroll, Norris, Martinez, Leclerc, and Carlos Sainz, Kvyat, Albon, Kimi Raikkonen, and Magnussen, Ocon, Giovinazzi, Daniel Ricciardo, and George Russell. Grosjean and Pierre Gasly picks up the final grid slot today. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track and get this Grand Prix underway.
It's race time here at the Austrian Grand Prix. We start from P8 on the grid, so we've actually gained a position due to a grid penalty to somebody else. So that's good news off the bat. We start on the 4th row alongside, I believe, Lando Norris in the McLaren. And in terms of strategy here today, we don't really have the best conditions for us. So essentially, of course, because we've got into Q3, we are going to have to start on the Q2 soft tyres that we qualified on and then move on to the hard tyres. So a very straightforward one stop here today. Ideally, I'd love to go soft to medium, but I'm not sure that's going to happen. And it's worth noting, of course, this is the first time since Monaco and only the second time all season that I've actually not had the free tyre choice, which is a really, really big advantage for us and something that's really helped me get some good results. So it's going to be interesting. It's the first open race circuit that's not Monaco that I do this strategy with. So I'm not expecting miracles. I've overfueled by 1.2 laps because it is a power circuit with lots of straights, and hopefully we can try and still get some points here today. I feel like it might not be a podium, but if I can finish where I start, I'll be very happy. So without further ado, let's jump into it and let's get into the Austrian Grand Prix. Okay, here we go then. Let's get those RPMs sorted out as the lights are on. Quick 5 lights and away we go. Not too bad of a start. Looks like Leclerc's had a great one in the Ferrari. Up towards turn 1, we're going to just go side by side with the Ferrari driver here. Looks like Leclerc has got the move done for now. So we're down to P9 for now, but we're going to try and fight back up towards the hairpin. The AI are pretty cautious on the brakes. We're going to get Lando as well. Down the inside we go. Easy does it. There we go. Nice traction. And we're up to P7. So nice little recovery there. And exactly what we need, to be honest with you. We're now behind Lance Stroll. Perez running in P3 in the Racing Point. Fair play to him. Right, let's see if we can find our race pace early on here. If I can stick with these guys in P7 and in the DRS train, we're going to be looking pretty decent this race. So that's the strategy. Try and stay within a second of the cars ahead, especially these first 2 laps where the AI are going to be running full power. We need to try and do our best, and also try and manage tyre temperatures, make sure we don't overheat, because it's quite easy to overheat, you know, the soft tyres at the start of the race, especially in a car like this which doesn't have the best downforce. So I'm working the tyres harder than everybody else. But anyway, lap 1 in the books, and we are looking pretty decent here. I feel like I want to challenge Stroll out of here, but I don't know if I've got the car for it. Let's see. Yeah, not quite. Not really close enough. I could drain my battery here and absolutely go for it, but I'm going to hang back for now and play the long game. It does seem like Sebastian Vettel is just holding us up a little bit now. So he's holding up Verstappen, which is holding up Stroll, which is holding up myself. I wouldn't say my pace is a lot better than this, but I can definitely maybe consider passing Lance Stroll and then just sitting behind Verstappen. So I'm going to try and make a move here as Verstappen challenges Sebastian Vettel into the hairpin. I'm going to see if I can get the drive out of here. Yes, we do. Here we go. We're tucked in nicely right underneath Stroll. To be fair, Stroll might go for the move on Vettel here instead. I'm going to go to the outside. Don't know what to expect. These two are battling it out. I'm just going to kind of sit back, take a back seat. Can we slide in here to the outside? Going to go the long way around. I've completely messed it up, to be fair. I've gone way too deep into the corner. Let's see if I can make a move though. This would be great for us if I could get past Sebastian Vettel and stick with Lance Stroll. I'm going to try it again. Let's see if this time we're successful. I'm definitely very good on the brakes into here. I could probably go for a couple of dives if I really wanted to. There we go. Nice traction. I was being very patient with the wheel spin. We're going to full step to go defensive. To the outside we go. Long way round into turn 4. Going to short shift my way out of there. Nope, Vettel holds on. It's going to be a race down to the next corner. Damn it, I was hoping to get the job done there. That's not ideal. Oh god, whoa. Whew. That was a big one. Rear tyres are letting go. And now suddenly I'm under pressure from behind. I need to drain the battery here to not drop out of the DRS range. Or DRS range, sorry. Let's see if we can have a good end to the lap. Yeah, that'll do. That was nice. I'm really struggling for tyres now.
Push now. We're boxing this lap.
Yeah, the grip isn't great. I'm not as close to the cars ahead anymore. I'm just picking up a lot of understeer basically. Just not able to get the car turned in, and it's quite frustrating. I am going to drop Norris probably out of the DRS range here, which is good, but yeah, I'm struggling. This is my best overtaking opportunity, but I can't get a good enough run out of turn 1 up into turn 3. And then I can't seem to get enough of a run down towards turn 4 either. So, bit of a tricky one, but yeah, I don't know. Left rear is 59%. If I could go 3 more laps, I'd try and maybe stretch it to a set of mediums, but it's a long way to go, man. But those mediums will make a big difference for our pace. So I'm really torn in terms of what to do. I might try and stay out. Depends what these cars ahead of me do. If they all pit, then I might have to pit with them. So let's see what happens. Because if they stay out, I'm just going to try and stay in the DRS, and that's going to help us out. I'll say that Vettel pits, but Stroll's still out there, so let's try and stick with Lance if we can. I might have just dropped out of the DRS range though, so I need to push on this straight. There we go, drain the battery. Try and get back within a second of Lance, which we have done. Basically try and overcut Vettel now at this stage, that's the plan. We're going to try and get those medium tyres on the car, so let's see if we can make it work. Okay, this is perfect. Leclerc pits for Ferrari, so Ferrari not able to get their tyres to last. We've now dropped Lando out of DRS range, and so far Verstappen and Stroll are staying out, so we're going to try and make this work. Left rear 68%. I reckon I've got this lap and one more in it.
George is in the pits. George in the pits.
And that's all I've got left in the tank, so we need to try and make the tyres last as best as we can. Max Verstappen into the pit lane. Stroll stays out for one more. I'm going to stay out with him. Sergio Perez pits as well, so it looks like this is the lap for the leaders to pit. So if we can get through this lap, we're going to be okay. Hamilton onto mediums, so this is it. If we can survive this lap with our rear tyres, then we should be able to get to the end on mediums, so let's try and stick with it here. Right, we're going to pit this lap. Just going to push into the pit lane. See if we can close up to Stroll a little bit. Give it everything. And that's a good pit entry. There we go, perfect. Right, job done. We've managed to stretch it. We've actually held Bottas in the pits for a long time. Bottas going for the hard tyres as well, so split strategy at Merc. We're going to go for the mediums. Here we go.
Go, go, go.
Oh.
You'll be racing on the exit.
Oh, mate, I thought we may have got Stroll there.
One more stop today. One stop left in our strategy.
Fortunately, it wasn't to be. I thought we may have rejoined ahead of him. There's Lando, so Lando's got the undercut to work. So we're down to P10 now. Right, I'm going to try and be clever here. Both of these guys are on mediums. Leclerc behind on hards. We're going to try something. Big battle up ahead as well, so got to bear that in mind. Nice bit of traction from us there. We're going to get past Lando straight away, hopefully. Drag race down towards turn 4. We need to get back ahead of him. Oh, really can't get the car slowed down at all at the minute, but we've got the move done. Got full charge of ERS as well. Did a good job of keeping my ERS under control in the first stint. Let's close in on Stroll. There's a lot of grip actually, a lot more than I thought. I'm used to the really worn soft tyres. Let's try and close the gap here. We've dropped down a little bit as Giovinazzi is going to pit, so that might hold up Stroll. Let's just be cautious. Oh, there's contact. There it is. I was just about to say, that might hold up Stroll. We've gone through straight away. Right, let's use the DRS as a slingshot. Let's try and pull away here. Norris is being held up by Stroll. This is perfect for us. Got plenty of grip, so let's push on. Vettel's going to hold up Verstappen on those hard tyres as well, so we need to drain the battery a little bit here, try and close up to these guys if we can. Right, good lap. Couple of personal best sectors, including a purple sector 1. 1 minute 5.9. We now got a 3-second gap over Lando because of that contact on the previous lap. So we're looking good. Net P6, I believe. This has worked out perfectly for us, and I think we can probably get Vettel here on the tyre differential. So let's see if we can close up. They're both battling now, him and Verstappen. Going to use that to close in, hopefully. Okay, good pace. I've managed to fight my way back into DRS range of these two. Max looking like he's about to put the move on Vettel anyway. But let's see how this goes. As the race goes on, it's going to favour Sebastian Vettel, of course, on those hard tyres, as he makes a bit of a mistake at the turn 1. Runs a bit deep. Let's see if Verstappen goes for the move here. We're going to just sit behind. I've got nice engine temperatures, so we're looking pretty decent. As the clouds start to form up towards turn 4. I just wonder here if we can slip through and use the fact these two are battling to try and get their move done. Vettel has DRS, Verstappen does not. Can we squeeze through here? Yes, we can. Verstappen on the inside. Got to leave some room. But we've got ahead of Sebastian Vettel. That's all we need. I might try and use Verstappen to drag me along here. I feel like we're quicker than Perez. You know, we were starting to catch him at the end of the first stint. So let's see if Verstappen can drag me that way and take me with him. But now we're net P5 in this race, which is brilliant. Let's see if we can make it work. Still got to try and get this tyre to the end as well, which is going to be a big challenge. But it's got really overcast all of a sudden here. I don't think it's going to rain. There wasn't no rain in the weather forecast, but I could be wrong.
No threat of rain for the time being. Conditions looking good. Dries seem like the fastest tyre at the moment.
Okay, so just a bit of clouds, bit of weather looks like, but we're going to be okay. All right, let's try and stick with Max here, who's trying to pull away. You can see he's draining the battery, trying to push. Let's try and stick with him. The car feels a lot better now in terms of pace. The fuel's starting to burn off, and it just feels a lot quicker. And I feel like I can maybe get a move on Verstappen here. We are closing in on Perez, So I am tempted to make the pass, but at the same time I'm saving a lot of ERS, which is really good for us. So I'm just going to sit. Vettel will also follow me as well, but I will make this pass soon because I don't want to get overtaken by Seb. We need to get the move on Verstappen done first and then kind of feed Verstappen into Vettel. This is it. I'm going to try and send it on Verstappen here. Just got to make sure I get the exit right out of here, which is going to be so important. Which it is. It's absolutely perfect. Here we go. Nice, easy move. We've got a lot of overspeed. And we are through. I'm in the P4 in this race. Let's try and push now. Use that overspeed and that slingshot to see if we can try and close out to Perez up the road. Oh, okay. Vettel and Verstappen are battling. Something happened there. Something happened in turn 1. Not sure. Maybe Verstappen made a mistake. That's put him into the path of Vettel, so we've got a chance now to pull away here and break the DRS possibly. I don't know what to do. If I should tactically let Vettel pass me here, because I'm going to run out of fuel in ERS very soon. Maybe let him go after Perez. I'll try and sit behind, see if we can get a slingshot on me. I think that might be the best bet, to be fair. Well, I've made a mistake now, so I'm kind of going to have to do that, to be fair. Let's see if Seb goes for the move here. I'm going to let him go for it. I'm going to sit behind, let him just lead the way for now, and hopefully I can try and follow him. That's the plan. Try and charge ERS, save a bit of fuel as well, if possible. And I'll try and pass him at the end of the race.
A few inches later.
Safety car,
oh, wow.
safety car. No overtaking, reduce your pace. Keep your delta number positive as we form up. Check your MFD for a new strategy option.
I don't care.
Understood, copy that.
We're going to the end, it does make a difference. I could have maybe pit there, but it's irrelevant. This is interesting though, because it brings us all together, and suddenly now, that moment of letting Vettel pass actually went completely against us, which is a real shame.
Safety car is waiting for the leader. You may overtake it. Overtake the safety car.
Yeah, it's a real shame. It really is. We let Vettel pass at the wrong time there. Not ideal, but oh well. It is what it is, as they say. Okay, time for the restart. Tyres are not very warm, so I need to try and force a bit of temperature in at this last phase if I can. I did that last lap. I thought the safety car was going to pit at the last lap, and it wasn't the case. So I've put a lot of wear into my tyres, so I had to wait till the very last minute. You can see here we're 60% left rear with 3 full racing laps to go, so we should be okay, but we need to still make sure we make it. Anyway, full speed ahead now.
Green flag.
The podium is there, but I'm not super confident we're going to have the pace. These restarts don't tend to favour me that much, especially with my current tyre wear. I've got a bit more than everybody else because this car goes through tyres a lot, so it's going to be tricky, but I'll try and do my best. Verstappen's going to be a lot quicker and is going to drain the ERS on the restart, as will all of the AI, so we need to try and be clever and save some ERS for the final lap of the race. I need to get back past Vettel though, that's going to be the key one. That's the one I'm a bit annoyed about because I was P4 and I let him go. Here we are then, last lap of the race. Unfortunately, I just don't have the pace. I'm pushing, but it's not going to be enough.
In this engine mode much longer. We're about a lap over target. Drop down to
Whatever, Jeff. Don't worry about it, mate. It's not important. Perez is going to hold on. It's going to be a podium for Sergio, Vettel P4, and we're going to come home in P5, and I will still take that.
All right, race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
Yet another historic win under their belts. Well done to the team at Mercedes. Anthony, tell me, what was it that helped them achieve this success?
Without a doubt, the safety car changed everything today. The key to their success was keeping calm and reacting to the situation quickly. We've seen teams in the past throw away wins because they were too hesitant, but here they were decisive, and that's allowed them to take the advantage.
Mercedes are on top form once again after an excellent race weekend. It's great to see them up on that podium once again.
There we go, another race, another solid points finish, and to be fair, it's a shame the podium was not too far out of reach. It should have been P4, I let Vettel go, and the safety car timing just completely messed me up there, which is a real shame. Hamilton wins though ahead of Bottas, who picks up the fastest lap, and Perez on the podium, Vettel, myself, Verstappen, Norris, Leclerc, Sainz and Albon in the points. And missing out we have Kvyat, Ricciardo, Magnussen, Raikkonen and Gasly, Giovinazzi, Grosjean, Stroll, Russell P19 and then Ocon DNFing from the race. We look at the standings and we remain in third place. We extend our lead over Verstappen slightly, which is good news for us, and also Sebastian Vettel does claw a couple of points back, but generally speaking we're looking pretty decent and we are more comfortable than before in third place. In terms of the constructors, we also still hold on to third place. Ferrari did get both cars in the points, but it wasn't enough to overturn the deficit, so we're still 4 points ahead of them. So yeah, not bad, but the next race is Silverstone, and I know for a fact that is going to be pain for us. So to kind of remedy that pain, we are going to move back to the menu and try and put more upgrades onto the car.
You really cut your way through the field today. What was your strategy?
I think just going flat out, basically. You know, the car was great, we had some really good straight line speed, and the engine could take that, which is great.
It's safe to say you're smashing everyone's expectations, isn't it?
Yeah, we've had a great year, I've got to be honest. You know, we're getting those results and it's really, really important. Hopefully we'll keep it going. But for sure, I think it's an effort from everyone. You know, the whole team has been working really hard this season.
You had a close battle today, didn't you?
Yeah, bit of a shame really we didn't, you know, come out on top considering we were ahead. Took a tactical gamble and it didn't pay off, but I enjoyed it. We're both pushing ourselves and that's good fun.
Great. Well, that's everything.
Well, as you can see after the race, Sebastian Vettel does outscore us, which is a bit of a shame because, like I said, we were just ahead of him. So a bit unfortunate it worked out that way, but nonetheless, we're not going to, you know, dwell on that too much. We move on to the next race and hopefully do better as we also level up quite nicely on the driver acclaim. But we're now going to move into the upgrades. Okay, so we have a contract renewal, which is quite spicy now. Looking at, of course, you know, what we want to do here, of course I'm going to stay. The question is, can I push my valuation? Okay, so as you can see, we've got a few, you know, permutations, let's say. So we've got the low risk, medium and higher risk contracts. I'm currently on 3.02 million. So even if you go for a low risk, you know, our demand would go up, which is good. To be fair, I don't want to get sacked. You know, that would ruin the whole point of this series. So I'm just going to go ahead for a low risk and hope that this gets agreed. And there we go, job done. Very happy with that. And we're just playing it safe. I could have maybe gone for medium. I'll wait till the next contract negotiation probably for that. But we're now signed on until the end of the current season. Now, with that said, I want to mention really quickly, it seems like Williams have purchased a quality control upgrade for the powertrain department, which is great. So hopefully once that arrives, there's less chances of that failing. So we're going to save the engine upgrades for when that arrives. We move into the R&D, we've got of course 2 upgrades on the way currently, we're going to add another one to that. So we've got 1,000 R&D points, and we're going to go ahead and purchase, I think, some aerodynamic upgrades, and we can only really afford this minor one, which is going to be more drag reduction, but we're going to go ahead and get that on anyway. That will arrive before the Hungarian Grand Prix. So again, upgrades every race, that's the plan at the moment, and if all of these upgrades arrive, in theory we should overtake Alfa Romeo and pretty much draw level with Alfa Tauri. So yeah, we're now going to skip ahead to an invitation event that we have to do. Now, I am going to end today's episode here, guys. I'm a bit short for time, so what we'll do is in the next episode, we'll kick off the video with the invitational, so stay tuned for that. Either way, I'm looking forward to it. The good news is as well, the engine upgrade has arrived for the power department, so we've also got this major engine power upgrade, which is really, really important for us, so I'm happy with that. Good timing on that because we're, you know, going into Spa, Monza very soon, so that was a really big upgrade for us, and we'll probably do this one as well in the next episode, so stay tuned for that, guys. But that is going to be it from me here today, and I'll see you guys next time for an invitational event. But until then, thank you for watching. Thanks for the members of the channel for supporting. If you enjoyed the video, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Check out the 2 videos on screen right now if you haven't seen them, and I'll see you guys next time. But until then, take care, and this is goodbye from me.